On this channel, I'm usually examining dead brands, which is why it has been really refreshing for me to get into Bakugan over the past year. Someone please stop me. Bakugan was a brand existing in the mid-2000s based on a toy line of magnetic activated transforming balls. It was a huge hit, but the wide belief was that it didn't have an appeal for fans as they got older and developed with it. While the toy is still awesome, the original card game was mostly an afterthought without a lot of depth. But the 2019 relaunch put a lot more resources into a brand new, competitively focused card game. Also Cubbo. Last year, I was invited by Spinmaster to a sneak peek event in Los Angeles, and over the past year, I've kept up with the game out of genuine enjoyment and because of Cubbo. I've collected tons of Bakugan, countless booster packs, and I've tried to keep tabs on the growing community. I recently got an invitation for the second annual Bakugan Invitational Tournament and sneak preview event. But there's only one problem. I'm really bad at Bakugan. Like, really bad. Now I'm going to be in LA with a bunch of different YouTubers on camera for all of their videos, and I'm going to embarrass myself because I'm really bad at Bakugan. I lost in the second round at this tournament last year. Earlier this summer, I went to MomoCon in Atlanta and I lost horribly to Simo. The game is now established, so I have no excuse not to play well. So I have to get to LA and participate in the tournament without Spinmaster ever realizing just how bad I am, because I have to continue to be an influencer. I gotta get good.
3, 2, 1. Oh.
So the Bakugan card game is pretty unique in the space, mostly because of how the toys are incorporated into the game. Aside from booster packs, you can also buy the Bakugan characters. Bakugan are these cool, transforming balls that open up to reveal a character when activated by a magnet. In the game, each player picks 3 Bakugan and rolls them out to the center of the field, which is lined with 12 hex magnets, or Baku cores, that'll open your Bakugan if rolled correctly. The winner of the round is whoever has the highest B power, which is determined by the Bakugan's stat card and the effects of the Baku cores. That's where the introductory game for younger players ends. But from there, older, more experienced players can build a 40-card deck using cards color-coordinated to your 3 selected Bakugan. Cards can increase Bakugan power, create permanent effects for the rest of the game, increase damage, and upgrade your Bakugan's base stat with an evolution. Just like most other card games, cards require energy to play, and you can only build up your energy stockpile once per turn. The loser of the round takes damage by discarding cards off the top of their deck, but flip cards continue your strategy even when taking damage. First one to have no cards left during an attack loses, and I know that feeling all too well. I love card games in general, but Bakugan in itself is just inherently more fun. It has this extra layer of playability with the toys themselves that bring an extra layer of just pure joy to the experience. Seeing the Bakugan pop out of their balls is truly remarkable. Like, it's something that never gets old, and the more physical, skill-based rolling mechanic creates a level of intensity that's just not found in other card games within the space. Turn to turn, you know whatever strategy you're planning can be interrupted by a failed roll. And because of the rolling mechanics, and because you can see who's clearly winning or losing due to how high their deck is stacked, Bakugan's also a much more interesting game to watch than other card games, because it has this easy to follow visual element for observers. Alright, so first things first, I have to get the roll down. If I can't roll the Bakugan, I lose the match. Every match at MomoCon, I lost because I couldn't roll. Roll, 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 hit the Baku cores, train, protein, roll, Baku cores, roll, protein, Baku cores. Now I know what you're thinking. That looks pretty gross, but don't worry, I'm not actually drinking Baku cores. This is just a little bit of editing magic. Now I have to pick out my Bakugan. I'm gonna base my Bakugan selection on what I already own. So I'm going with Dragonoid Ultra, Hydorus Ultra, and Pegatrix Ultra. I gotta get that roll down. You stupid ball! That's your home! Why won't you go home? Are you too good for your home? Now, unfortunately, one of the things that has held my interest back a little bit in Bakugan this year is really the overall lack of organized play. Earlier this year, a BakuTuber, Briar626, did invite me to a locally organized event, but unfortunately, it was an hour away, and that day I just couldn't make it. And then there have been events at Barnes & Noble and GameStop, but to me, those seemed more like an introductory kind of thing. It was kind of showing kids how to play the game, more than giving an environment where older players such as myself could play together. So unfortunately, for older fans such as myself who may be interested in competitive play, you're really on your own to figure that out. So I called up YouTuber Negative Legend to help me construct my deck. I'm focusing on a few things here. First, draw power. In order to get a leg up on my opponent, I need to be able to get the cards I want out as soon as possible. Next, I gotta pay attention to the bell curve. Since you can only play one energy a turn, you wanna be able to play cards right at the start of the game that have low energy costs, but as the game progresses, of course, you wanna be able to play more and more powerful cards. So as much as I want to stack my deck with 30 Leah cards because her outfit is on point, I can't. Finally, I need evolution cards for my deck because Bakugan power up by evolving. So I'm just gonna throw some in. So I'm packing up my gear and heading out to Los Angeles. I head out from Orlando's airport, leaving behind an overabundance of theme park advertising to land in LA to be greeted by an overabundance of theme park advertising. The competition is as fierce as ever this year.
YouTube.com/negativelegend.
Well, last year felt like it was a heavy influencer quote-unquote presence. This year was very community focused, with Bakugan creators of all sizes and YouTube experience coming out to see the new product and play the game.
Here at Spinmaster HQ, you can finally review Bakugan on Yelp.
Here we go. Ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, reveal!
At Bakugan headquarters, we were shown the next phase of Bakugan after Battle Planet, Armored Alliance. A new set of cards, a second season of the show, and redesigns of classic Bakugan are coming. This is old Dragonoid, well, old new Dragonoid. He just looks like he wants some chalky milk. He's great. But this is new Dragonoid. He forgot to call your mom back. Everything is looking a little refreshed here, from the packaging that makes the Apple fanboy in me scream, the cores, the slightly lighter back to all the Bakugan character cards. It's fresh to death. Alongside new gameplay elements such as dual type cards and flip heroes are the newest addition to the core gameplay, Baku Gear, permanent in-game upgrades to the Bakugan that gives them an edge in play. And of course, you have the little optional accessories you can add to open the Bakugan. Dang, Aquas Dragonoid Ultra, you are looking good. The Baku Gear is also the focus of Season 2, with the new subtitle being Bakugan Armored Alliance, of course alluding to the Armored Alliance. Alongside the new subtitle is a rebranding of the card game as Bakugan Pro, a hopeful hint that organized play will be an important aspect of the game in the future. Looking at the new cards and product was awesome. I think something Bakugan has that other card games don't is how character-focused everything is. When we see Dan or Dragonoid being silly on a card, we associate it with the character rather than the design, which makes collecting really fun. I mean, how can I not get excited pulling this card that features Leah and Cubbo at the Clubbo? It's amazing. I love it so much. Seeing the community develop out of this game over the past year has been really cool. Just at this event, there are tons of new YouTubers who have popped up over the past years just because of Bakugan, and they're really into the game. Along for the ride was also voice actors Julius Cho and Devin Mack, who play Magnus and Winton in the Bakugan show. They hung out with us, they answered everyone's questions, and they even got a little down and dirty and played a few games.
I think it's time to drama!
It was really cool. Plus, everyone was treating us, pretty generously while we were out there. So we got some pretty awesome swag. The socks, the shirts, the backpacks, the uniforms, the hats, and the pins. But the height of everything was this custom wooden Bakugan deck box, which just looks so nice. So they're doing a draft with the new cards, and instead of letting us play with our own deck, I spent $27 on that Dan Kuzo card. I'm gonna lose. I can't compare it to Illinuk, Phoenix Knight, Kimbo, Jet Kuso, Bang Shaman, Ragin' Cajun. These are the real Bakugan masters. I'm just some guy.
Yo, Billy, what's up?
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Good.
Oh, thank you. I'm doing that.
This is all for you.
Oh my god.
Specially prepared.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, ooh.
You got enough hands for it all?
I do have enough hands for it all. I'm ready to Bakugan brawl. Good luck, man.
Almost ready.
My clumsy brain continues. Thank you.
We were all given 5 Bakugan and 10 packs to build a 40-card deck. When it comes to drafting decks, Bakugan kind of has a unique issue that needs some solution eventually. A draft is when you construct a deck solely out of new cards. With games like Magic and Pokemon, needed mana and energy cards are usually provided by the card shop, but fortunately, any card in Bakugan can act as an energy. But the Bakugan come in branded character packaging, so you know exactly who you're getting, meaning that not everyone is starting off on the same foot in a draft. However, at the event, they made sure to randomly give us a selection of new Bakugan. So I guess card shops could curate handing out Bakugan to keep everything random, or maybe you'd only draft the cards. I'm not quite sure how it would work. I got Ventus and Aquos Dragonoid Ultra, Pyrus Trox, Darkus Hydorus, and Pegatrix Ultra. And of course, the Baku Gear. I chose my Bakugan based on who I had the most evolution cards for, but I did pull the sickest, dankest card there is.
Finally, more draws. Hey, mine's better. Mine's more.
Yeah, yours is.
Leon Cubbo at the Clubbo.
Yeah, that's that one right there.
I want a print of that so badly. Like, I don't think you know, that is the most aesthetic thing I've ever seen.
It's a fantastic card, too.
2, 3.
On Saturday, the brackets were confirmed and we were brought into the main hall to brawl it out for the grand prize of getting a Bakugan named after you. Simo won last year, so we can look forward to Simoga soon. My first match is with JoJo. While everyone else was finishing up their first round game, ours was still going, partly because I take so long to put my Bakugan back together, but mostly because I played well. For a second, it looked like JoJo was going to beat me. I had 0 cards left for about 5 turns, but despite being on the literal precipice of loss,
Stop it!
I won a match.
Wow.
Good match.
I might cry here. Thank you. Oh my god. Yeah, good game.
that's just good Bakugan right there. Honestly, this match was incredible. So thank you so much, JoJo, for putting on a good game. Like, holy heck, I actually won. I can go through my own Bakugan named after me. My own Bakugan. Billius Ultra. Billiamoid. My own Bakugan. I lost to Ethan in the second round. You know, Ethan. Looks like I'm not gonna be Mr. Big Brawl this year. I took it well.
Here we go. I got an angle. How you doing? What? Who do you want to win?
Well, I think it's going to be a good match.
That's not what I asked.
Both players
So who do you want to win?
I think both players are going to bring something good to the table.
That's not what I asked. Who are you going to win? Who do you want to win?
And I'm excited to watch this game.
But first, versus Phoenix Knight versus Jet Kuso. Who do you
Check
want?
it out.
Who do you want?
You know what they say. That's just the way the Bakugan rolls. Eventually, the tournament came down to Phoenix Knight, the Bakugan player who won at Anime Expo, and Jet Kuso, some sort of charisma engine.
So you get a notification every time I post a new video. Check me on Patreon, and thank you to all of my Patrons for helping to support my content. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions.
But in all actuality, congratulations to Phoenix Knight and Jet Kuso for getting to the final round, and congrats to Jet for winning. Heading back home after the weekend, I was kind of bummed out. The Bakugan community has really taken its own shape over the past year, and tons of new faces are coming into the YouTube scene because of it. It makes me think, maybe the real grand prize for the 2019 Bakugan Invitational in LA, California, is the friends we made along the way. This is a game I really enjoy playing, but unfortunately I don't have a network of friends who are interested in it. While there are community events happening here and there, Bakugan is a game that ultimately doesn't really have a home right now. Without that hobby shop network built up, there really isn't too many people to play this game with, but I want to share it with people. And I know that's a huge logistical challenge that the company has to overcome, but it has to be overcome eventually. However, just know they're aware of this. It's not like the first time they're hearing about organized play is from a YouTuber like me explaining it to them. But nonetheless, Bakugan has continued to be this really fun game over the course of 2019, and I'm really excited to see what 2020 brings to the game. So thank you so much to Spinmaster for flying me out. The effort and generosity associated with that, even though we're promoting something, doesn't go unnoticed. They go above and beyond with treating us with respect and also treating us well as fans. It's really cool. So anyways, I hear influencers need to have like a big signature send-off at the end of their videos, and now that I've gone to LA, I'm officially an influencer. So here's my new signature sign-off at the end of my videos. So anyways, thank you for watching, and as I always say, have a good day. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much to Spinmaster for flying me out. The amount of effort that goes into something like this does not go unnoticed or unappreciated. Other than that, this is your first video of mine. Consider doing all the silly stuff YouTubers ask you to do. Subscribe, follow me on social media, all that junk. Also, I want to create a playlist of a bunch of the other Baku YouTubers who went to this event. I'm asking people to send me videos, so I'm still kind of waiting on that. When that playlist is ready, I'll post it to Twitter, and I'll add it to this end card, so if you're looking forward to that, go follow me there so you can follow everyone else. It feels like self-promotion even though I'm trying to promote other people. Other than that, have a good day, and I will see you next week.